Day 3.
You know, the story of Katerina and Carl reminds me so much of what we went through.
Yeah. Similar circumstances, but she put her family above all. She refused to let others decide their future. A part of me wishes we'd done the same. If we were given a new chance, would we take it? Consequences be damned?
I know I would. I'd give anything for another shot.
I'm not sure if I would. It would mean betraying a lot of what I stand for.
I get that. I suppose being dead gives me a different perspective on things.
This can't be healthy.
Probably not.
There's that feeling again. Whoa.
Got a new one. Mimicry. Mimic a person copying their appearance and voice. Collect an audio-visual signature by observing the target, then activate the signature to assume their identity. Only one signature can be stored at a time. Okay.
Morning, Agent. Dr. Parison asked me to tell you to meet him in the morgue. He's done with the remains from the recycling center.
All right, thanks. I'll go have a look before I pay Epos a visit.
Alrighty then. Wait, who are
He
you?
looks sick. I shouldn't bother him.
Feeling ill today? Any soreness or fever? See if you can get treatment for something ordinary. The doctor gets so creepy when he's stuck in the morgue all the time.
I'm well, thanks. But I'll do my best to keep things brief down there.
Ah, gross.
Well, Leonard, it's been quite gross working with you. Hello
Gross.
again. I've got a present for you, Agent.
Is that so?
Yep, right here on this tray. If you're a fan of minced meat, I've got a bucket full of Leonard out back, too.
Gross.
I think I'll pass on that one.
Good choice. The seasoning is subpar, to say the least.
You take your jokes way too far, Doctor. Now, what have you found?
Well, obviously, the poor man was shredded. Fortunately for him, it happened when he was already dead.
Yeah, I came to the same conclusion. Can you tell me anything about the cause of death?
Not much with the remains in this state. No signs of toxic substances, but that obviously still leaves a lot of options open.
Noted. So what's this in front of me?
Oh, yes. I noticed a pattern on Leonard's skin.
Ugh.
Likely a tattoo. These are all the pieces I could find. Not sure how they fit together, but I kept them in case you wanted to have a look.
All right, I'll check them out.
Of course I have to freaking do a puzzle. That doesn't surprise me. Okay.
Huh. Looks like Leonard had this symbol tattooed on him. I'll copy it to my notebook. I had some more things to ask.
Shoot.
Do you know who Katerina Berg is, the school teacher? She also calls herself Melinda.
I know who she is, but that's about it. She's not a patient.
She's not? Even though you're the only doctor in town.
I wouldn't read too much into it. As far as I know, she's a young, healthy woman, and she moved here just a few years ago. She may not have needed any medical care since her arrival.
What do you know about Leonard Dahl?
Polite and well-spoken fellow, judging by the few times I met with him.
All right. What did you meet with him about?
Well, typically just routine work when someone hurt themselves in the recycling center. Seems like a hazardous workplace. I hear about accidents occurring there almost on a weekly basis.
Are you familiar with the Conduit?
That old terrorist organization. What of it?
Well, have you ever heard about it still being around?
I'm sure the ideology still thrives in places. The lure of artificial intelligence will never be fully diminished.
Right, but you're not aware of anyone being more than a little interested.
If you're asking me, would I report a terrorist if I knew one, the answer is yes. But currently, I don't.
Okay.
You probably
thanks.
do, but you're just keeping it to yourself.
What's your opinion on the Free Church of Epos?
I try to steer clear of those people. Any form of superstition, religious or otherwise, is of no interest to me.
That's enough questions for now.
Okie dokie.
Nice talking with you, Doctor. Okay, so... Wait. I can show it to the doctor and ask him about it. I can show the tattoo scrawling.
I had...
Shoot.
So this is how Leonard's tattoo turned out.
Interesting. What does it mean?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Looks like one of those runes Maya liked to litter the town with.
Oh, wait, that's her doing?
Yes. As I understand it, she was a major voice on the building committee.
Huh. I've been wondering where all those symbols came from.
Yeah. Me, personally, I like the aesthetic. I think it gives the town a distinct look.
Definitely. The tattoo doesn't look runic to me, though, but I'll keep your theory in mind. That's enough questions for now.
Okie dokie.
Alright then. That was good for me to know to show him the tattoo because that's an interesting little tidbit. Okay, so now I need to go to the north side of the place. Or like the north side of town. Because that's where the church is, right? Who are you?
Change of venue?
Yes, this is where the recital will take place later. Great acoustics.
Ah, can I have a little foretaste?
Very well. The same wind, my dear. The same wind. Shook the walls of Jericho. Dried your tears.
Break the
No
walls
meat to be
down!
found. No trust, nor joy. This fire you were set to guard, and I to rest by its side. Not a whisper to be heard. Let it be known.
A whisper
We're
of a
here.
machine.
All alone.
That was great. I love the ending.
You're too kind.
I don't want to disturb.
Okay, so up here is the church, right?
Hi there.
Greetings, and welcome to the Free Church of Epos. If you wish, you can enter our public prayer room to the right for some silent contemplation.
All right, thanks. What about the rest of the church?
The other areas are off limits to non-members.
Oh, can I become a member then?
Now is not a good time. We're preparing for a special guest who has come a long way. If you return next week, we'll see what we can do.
I understand. Thanks. I wonder if this special guest can help somehow.
You post VIP, huh?
I suppose I could, but it wouldn't help me get past him. Looks like some kind of public prayer room or chapel. There are a few people in there.
The bird there. Okay. Can I ask you any
No
questions?
point. He won't budge.
Huh. Yeah, I need to head to the canteen. Or you're the worker from the recycling center.
Hey there. How are you holding up?
Oh, you again. I'm doing okay. Any luck with the case?
Some. Have time for more questions?
I suppose.
Not at the moment. I'm looking for a traveler headed for the Church of Epos. Seen anyone like that?
The only person I can think of is that hooded woman sitting over there.
She might be the one I'm looking for. Thanks.
Okay.
Did you know Carl Oscarson?
A little bit. We both grew up here in
How did I
town.
not answer any
We
of your
weren't friends
questions?
or anything. He seemed like the last person you'd think would get murdered, though. Wouldn't hurt a fly.
What's your opinion on Gabriel?
I couldn't say. I've had very little contact with him.
Do you know Katarina Berg, the teacher?
No, I have no idea who that is.
What do you think of Volter?
Oh man, he's hilarious. But some of his robots really give me the creeps.
What's your opinion on Commissary Anderson?
I normally don't have much contact with the police, but from what I can tell, he does a fine job.
What do you think of Stina Ruth, the councilwoman?
Never met her, but I'm not much for politics. I have enough to worry about down here in the real world.
Did you know Maya Strand?
I didn't, but I wonder how the museum will recover from her death. She was the driving spirit of that place, and I can't think of anyone who'd be willing to pick up the reins.
What's your view of Dr. Pearson?
He's as weird as they come, but everyone knows that. He's a fine doctor anyway.
So tell me what you know about Leonard.
We already went through this. I don't have anything new to add.
Do you know anything about the murder of Carl Oscarson?
Not really, just hearsay. I'm sure you've heard it all before.
Do you know anything about the murder of Maya Strand?
No, I rarely go to the museum these days.
What do you know about the conduit?
You mean like for electricity?
No, it's an organization. Pro AI.
Oh, never heard of them.
What can you tell me about Leonard's death?
I already told you everything I know about that.
What's your opinion on the Free Church of Epos?
I don't know much about it, but going to church doesn't sound like the worst idea. Maybe I should go and light a candle for Leonard.
I'll let you get back to your drink.
Okay, good luck out there.
Her sleeve has the Epos symbol. Maybe this is the special guest headed for Epos. Excuse me?
Yes? Can I help you?
Oh, never mind. Sorry, thought you were somebody else. A strange one.
Well, can I not do anything with this? Apparently not. And now I need to go back to the church. Or the whatever Epos lobby.
I need to get.
Greetings.
Welcome, Reverend. We've been expecting you. Step right through.
What's with the bird?
Sturdy looking filing cabinet. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Exodus 23. Suppose it wouldn't be a church without a Bible quote or two.
Oh, hello, Reverend. Sorry about the noise. The assembly hall is to your right, past the locker room.
Thank you. A bunch of storage boxes with initials on them. Several of the initials match people I know, but it could be a coincidence. If I had reason to believe one of them was Epos, it might be a good idea to come back here.
Wait.
That door looks like a timeline of how the EPO seals changed over the years.
Huh.
The original EPO's logo from before the collapse. The second version of the EPO's logo from sometime after the collapse. The third version of the EPO's logo, designed about 15 years ago.
That's the same symbol as the
current version
tattoo.
of the EPO's logo. No way. It's the tattoo design. That must mean Leonard is a member of EPO's. Or, well, he was, at some point at least. I'll get rid of the sketch, now that I've identified the symbol.
Alrighty then. Oh, this is where the key goes.
Got a written piece of paper. Grandmaster Otto, if you are reading this, it means that I have failed. I'm sorry, but I didn't want to involve the church unless absolutely necessary. My brother has some things for you. They will be self-explanatory. I told him to only give them up to the person who repeats the famous quote from my favorite book. I'm sure you remember. Blessings from Leonard, your most humble and loyal servant. Seems like Leonard was up to something shady. I'll have to find his brother and figure out what the quote is.
Alrighty then.
All right, let's see if this works.
What the heck?
That should keep him busy for a while. Locked. Some kind of metal workshop, with a few men working on what looks like construction materials. The room is a dead end, so I'll avoid it. Ugh, still won't budge. I'll have to find another way.
Hey.
Sturdy looking.
Wait, what am I supposed to do here?
Sturdy.
I don't understand. You need to push the filing cabinet to gain access to the ventilation shaft in the ceiling.
Sturdy. I don't think a ventilation panel.
There we go.
All right, it's loose now.
The hell is that noise?
Shit.
We've got an intruder!
Really?
All right, it's loose now.
One more.
Six new members over the last month. The Bacarbo parish is also doing better now.
They managed to resolve their financial difficulties?
Oh yes, Elsa is doing
Or isn't
great
that
work
the-
there. Sending her on our
behalf
Dude.
was the right call. That brings us to the subject of these horrid murders.
Vile acts, for certain. I pray that the church will stay clear of any blame.
Why shouldn't it? We had nothing to do with those atrocities.
I know that, old friend. But surely our enemies will not ignore an opportunity like this.
I suppose so. Our violent past coming back to haunt us.
Sadly, the fact that one of our people was victimized will inevitably draw eyes upon the church.
Yes, maybe it's in our best interest to invite the police as a gesture of good faith.
It would certainly show them that we have nothing to hide.
Very well. Let's bring the subject to a vote at the council tonight.
At the very least, it seems like the church leadership didn't sanction the murders. I'll wait a bit and see if they leave. I don't think it's safe to go back that way. Administrative paperwork.
The nothing?
Wow, that's a lot of books. They have an impressive library here.
Welcome, visitor. You can drop the smoke and mirrors routine, miss.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. While you may fool my younger cohorts, this old man has had dealings with your kind before. Please do me the courtesy of removing that mask. Thank you. Much better circumstances for a civil conversation, wouldn't you say?
I guess so. I was half expecting you to yell for the guards.
Luckily, I am a man who defies expectations. Special Agent, Violent Crimes Central Bureau.
Oh, it's you again. The man from the train.
Indeed. I never forget a face, but I'm afraid I didn't catch your name.
It's Agent England.
Ah, I am Vilgut. I assume you are aware of our legal status.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not here to cause any trouble. Just trying to do my job.
Why would you cause trouble? That sounds quite unnecessary.
Well, if, let's say, you were sheltering a murderer, I would have no choice.
Good thing there are no murderers here, then, for all parties involved.
Yeah. I overheard what you said to that priest. It's clear to me that you had nothing to do with the killings.
That's a relief. With that unpleasantry taken care of, perhaps I can be of assistance.
What do you know about the murder in the workshop hall?
Not much at all. Only that a carpenter was brutally killed there in the night.
What do you know about the murder in the museum?
Only what my fellow church members have told me. That Maya Strand was stabbed to death by a mysterious killer.
What's your take on the conduit?
Oh, those heretics? Haven't heard anything of them in many years. As far as I know, they are firmly confined to the ash heap of history by now.
Some might argue with that. Your church has a violent past with them, hasn't it?
There's no denying that. We fought many battles with their kind in the youth of our movement.
And now?
Don't be absurd. They are practically eradicated, and we have been a peaceful group for decades.
What do you think about their teachings, then?
Certainly dangerous doctrines if left unchecked. The conduit believes humans will create God in their image, instead of the other way around. In their folly, they forget that humans are flawed, and that their creations will inevitably inherit those flaws. The false God they aspire to create may demand sacrifices they're not prepared for.
So Leonard Dahl, one of your members, was killed yesterday.
I had a feeling your inquiry would lead us to him.
Can you think of anyone who would want him dead?
No. He was a loyal member of the church for many years. Kind of a loner, but always helpful and polite. He did have a strangeness to him, though. A look in his eyes like he was stuck in perpetual contemplation. It seemed as if he was constantly on the verge of, but never quite able to reach, some sort of profound revelation.
Any hint of a violent side to him?
No. To my knowledge, Leonard never committed any violence, nor did he express any desire to do so.
This church, Epos, what are your teachings?
At our core, we are an Orthodox Christian church. We believe in the one true God and his only Son, Jesus Christ.
And what sets your group apart from other Christians?
Two things: the reverence of the essential humanity in each and every one of us, and our stalwart opposition to false idols. Prior to the collapse, the great flood of our time, we arose as a reaction to the disgraceful habits of that era. The widespread worship of anything and everything but God. Wealth, fame, mindless pleasure. The sickening mutilation of our bodies to the point where some were more machine than human. And the worst of all, the pursuit of AI superintelligences. False gods that humans aspired to construct for themselves. We oppose it all for the glory of our Creator and the salvation in our future.
And how do you go about preventing people from worshipping these false gods?
Not by violence, if that's what you're implying. Such things belong to the past.
So it's just a coincidence that the only armed man I've seen in Nordson was right behind your doors?
Sadly, the world is still in a state where men with guns are a necessary evil. However, no laws have been broken. We have every right to bear arms.
Do you know what kinds of books Leonard liked to read?
One book he borrowed frequently was The Kingdom of God is Within You. In fact, it still hasn't been returned. It should be among his estate.
Would you be able to say if he had any favorite quotes from that book?
No, you should ask someone who spent more time with him.
Fine, I'll do that. What kind of book is it anyway?
It's about nonviolence, to summarize.
Got it. Thanks. What do you know about Carl Oscarson?
I must confess I didn't even know his name before I heard he was a murder victim.
What do you think of Gabriel?
Kurt's nephew. We only met briefly a few times.
Do you know who Katerina Berg is, the school teacher? She also calls herself Melinda.
I believe I've seen her around town with the school children, but I don't know much about her.
What do you think of Walter?
I don't know him well, but he seems like the kind of man who plays the part of the clown to hide a deep wound.
What do you think of Commissary Anderson?
He's no member of the church, but he's a fine man blessed with strong Christian morals. Compassionate, forgiving, and open-minded. I was good friends with his late father, and I'm glad to see that his son followed in his footsteps.
What's your opinion on Stina Ruth?
Cunning woman, that one. She's been a thorn in our side ever since she joined the town council.
Yeah? How so?
She has a penchant for political obstruction. Things like hindering our building permits or imposing unreasonable restrictions on our street preaching.
Why do you think she's been acting that way?
If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say she has some kind of grudge. Some Christian out there must have greatly angered her at some point.
What's your opinion on Maya Strand?
She was my polar opposite in almost every way. But I enjoyed the occasional late-night chess game with her in the canteen. It's fascinating how trivial activities like board games can bring such different people together. Goes without saying that I was as shocked and appalled as anyone when I learned of what happened to her.
What's your opinion on Dr. Pearson?
He and I have quite different takes on life and death, to put it lightly. But alas, a man of my age needs to see a physician regularly to keep the Grim Reaper at bay. So I grit my teeth and endure half an hour of his morbid humor for the sake of my health.
Do you know who Leonard Dahl's brother is?
I believe his name is Rolf. Quite a shady character, if you ask me.
Oh, the gardener, right?
Yes, that's him.
What can you tell me about Rolf?
Not my favorite person. He mocked the Lord when I first met him, and I don't take kindly to that sort of behavior.
I'll keep it to myself. Do you recognize this woman?
I do. That's one of the teachers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that pretty much sums up what I know about her.
Recognize this?
I do. Read it even many years ago.
Know thy enemy?
Something like that.
Okay.
That's all, for now.
Understood. I'll be here if you have more inquiries.
There's nothing else to see here.
Oh, the passage led back here. Good. Since I left the door unlocked behind me, I'll be able to come back the same way.
Okay. So I need to go to the gardener.
Hello, Ralph.
Hey, look, I'm pretty busy here. Not really a good time to talk.
This can't wait. You heard about your brother, right?
It's a small town, what do you think?
Sorry about your loss, but I really need to ask you some questions.
Fine.
Do you know who Katerina Berg is, the school teacher? She also calls herself Melinda.
Sure, I've seen her around, but that's pretty much it.
What do you think of Walter?
He's kind of a loon, isn't he? And coming from me, that's saying a lot.
What's your opinion on Commissary Anderson?
For a chief of police, he's all right. He's actually fair, unlike some of his underlings.
How so? You think they're harassing you?
Abso-friggin-lutely. One little mistake, those guys start hounding you night and day.
What do you think of Stina Ruth?
I have no idea who that is.
Did you know Maya Strand?
A bit. She approached me a few months back about refining edible plants into a nutrient paste. I helped her plant some quality fungi for it, in exchange for a cut of the harvest. Then she got herself killed, so I guess all of that was a waste of time.
That's a morbid way of looking at it.
I guess so. I'm sorry about what happened to her, but I still gotta eat.
What do you think of Dr. Pearson?
I'm trying to stay far away from that wisecracking quack.
Quack?
You heard me. All I need in terms of medicine, I find in herbs and plants.
And Dr. Pearson doesn't take kindly to that?
He should mind his own business is all.
What kind of relationship did you have with your brother?
The sibling kind. We weren't enemies, if that's what you're asking. The rest is really none of your business.
What can you tell me about yourself, Rolf?
I'm not in the mood for small talk. Ask your questions so I can get back to work.
Okay.
What do you know about the murder in the museum?
Nothing but the talk of the town. That Maya Strand was stabbed by some maniac.
What do you know about the conduit?
You know I'm a gardener, not an electrician, right?
That's not... Never mind. I'm sorry, Rolf, but I have to ask you about your brother's death.
I know, and I wish I had something to give you, but I don't know what happened.
So you have no idea who'd want to kill Leonard?
It's gotta be the nutjob who killed those other people, right?
It's possible, but far from certain. When was the last time you talked to your brother?
A week and a half ago, or so.
Okay. How did he seem? What did you two discuss?
He was his usual self, but what we talked about is private.
Look, every little detail matters. What he said could be the key to finding his killer.
I'm not gonna betray his trust. If you want to arrest me, go ahead. But that's all I'm gonna say.
What can you tell me about the Church of Epos? I know for a fact that your brother was a member.
So? That's not a crime.
Come on, Rolf, work with me. Don't you want me to catch your brother's killer?
Yes, he was a member, but I'm not. I spent 10 years trying to get him out of that place.
Why would you do that?
Because he changed. He became this sullen, slow, serious, fucking block of a person. He used to be so full of life, you know? I know he died just yesterday, but the Leonard I grew up with, he's been dead for a long time.
I understand, Rolf. Thanks for sharing. No, I don't want to tip him off before I figured out the exact quote. That
Good.
I need to go to the recycling plant because that's where Leonard's like estate is or whatever.
There it is, the book from the library. Got it. The Kingdom of God is Within You by Leo Tolstoy. This looks ancient, pre-collapse for sure. A number of pages are marked in the margins, likely to easily find them. Even if one of the marked pages contains the quote I need, there's too much text. I'll need more to go on. Maybe someone who had regular contact with Leonard would know the quote if they saw it.
Okay, I need to go to the canteen and talk with the recycling worker. Having a drink as far as I'm aware of. Unless he disappeared.
Hey, I got something to show you.
Okay.
Have a look at these marked pages. Does anything remind you of things Leonard used to say?
Give me a minute, will you?
Sure.
Here. The sole meaning of life is to serve humanity. Leonard used to say that whenever I was late for work.
Perfect. Thanks.
No problem.
What did then? Now I go back to Rolf. Talk to him about quote.
Hey. The sole meaning of life is to serve humanity.
I don't believe this.
You have something for me, Rolf?
I guess so. You know, you're the last person I was expecting. Was my brother a police informant?
Yeah. We were building a case, but that's all I'm at liberty to say.
Shit! That's crazy. Wait here, I'll be right back. Here, now go bury the bastard that killed my brother.
I'll do my very best. Got rid of the note. No need to hold on to that. Let's see here. There was an audio tape and a few documents inside. These look like surveillance reports. It seems that Leonard was investigating Carl, Katerina, and Maya. The museum, the junk heap, and the apartment at Mimir Road are all mentioned as locations of interest. Leonard must have followed them around town and documented their activities. There's not much new to me in here, but there's mention of multiple tape recordings. Maybe they can offer some other clue to the killer. I need to figure out some way to play that tape.
Okay. I need to go return the book.
Here's your book back. I got what I needed from it.
Ah, thank you.
Okay, now I need to go to the museum and go into the, like, secret room or whatever. I need to play the tape.
This tape is in pretty bad shape, but I might be able to do something with this machine here.
It's a puzzle.
All right, looks like the machine has analyzed the tape. Maybe I can reduce some or all of this noise.
Okay.
I shouldn't do that before I filtered out all the noise.
How do I filter out all the noise, though?
I think I need to work with smaller...
Ah, I see.
I shouldn't do... I shouldn't.
I don't know what this is asking me to do. Not filter multiple noise sources. Ah, there we go.
Baby. I can't shake the feeling that someone is onto us.
We've been careful. You're imagining things, Carl.
Baby, I can't wait to be done with all of this and just go be a family.
Me either, my love. Me either. Did you get the package?
Yes. Had a look inside. CPUs, neural cores, major third-degree violations.
I don't like it any more than you do, but it will keep Maya off our backs for a while.
Fuck, Mel, it's too hot. Terrorist classified hot. By definition, we're terrorists now.
Don't be dramatic. We'll keep our heads down, let Maya have her fun, then eject from this whole mess.
Things used to be so simple around here.
Interesting. If only I knew where it was recorded.
I wouldn't know. Chimes. Not where I need to be. Kids aren't here. Here. I knew I was.
That means Carl and Katerina were here
God
when they
dang
were
it.
recorded. I should have a look around. Oh, those must be the chimes. That means Carl.
Okay. I thought she would have said something different.
Looks. I wonder. There's something taped here under the bench. A tape recorder. This must be what Leonard used to record Carl and Katerina. There's still a tape inside.
Of course there's a tape
Crap,
inside.
looks like the recorder is busted. I'll just ditch it and keep the tape.
Okay. Let's go play the tape. Boom.
Let me worry about Carl. I'll find a way to make him see the value of our cause.
He's a liability, Katerina. It's only a matter of time before he figures out our true plans for the vessel.
Maya, just don't call our child that.
What? Vessel? But that's exactly what it is. A vessel for Holdra. Don't get emotionally attached. We must put our own selfish desires aside. How many children can she not save? How much suffering can she not end?
I know, Master, it's just hard. What if something went wrong? What if this is all for nothing?
You need to have faith, sister. Ever since I was little, I have sung to the tune of these machines. Now, is your wrist implant working as expected?
I think so. Doesn't itch anymore, at least.
I'll run a diagnostic later. I also put in a little surprise.
Let me guess.
A bomb? Is that sarcasm? It doesn't befit you. No, a fake biometric signature.
Oh, for the city trench coats? Why would one of them ever come to Nordsund?
It's just precaution. We won't remain here forever. I haven't gotten us this far by avoiding contingencies, have I?
I suppose not.
Katerina played me good. She is one of them. I must go and confront her.
Righty then. To the junk heap. Going the long way around, but oh well.
He looks busy sifting.
Okay. Random dudes.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Same here, but I'll be careful. I promise.
If you say so, honey.
Katerina? Huh? If someone is there, show yourself. Strange.
And the body's gone.
Hey, Katerina, wake up. She has no visible injuries, but her pulse is extremely weak. Something must have happened. I need to go get help.
From what I can gather, some kind of brain trauma has put her in a comatose state.
Damn. Can you determine the extent of the damage?
Difficult to say, which is typical for most brain injuries. She could wake up in 5 minutes. She may never wake up at all.
What could have caused it? Could someone have done it to her?
It's theoretically possible that she suffered a stroke, but her symptoms are eerily similar to victims of sophisticated interrogation techniques.
Interrogation techniques? Like what?
I'm no neurologist or nanoengineer, but from what I learned in medical school, there are advanced torture devices and energy-based weapons that can cause symptoms like this. All of them illegal, of course. Your colleagues at the Bureau may have more information about the subject.
I see. I will consult my contact here in Nordsund. Perhaps she has some knowledge on the matter.
Very well. I will remain here overnight and monitor this woman's vitals.
Good. Thank you, Doctor. Stay frosty, Gabriel. Whoever did this to Katerina may decide to come back.
I'll try, ma'am. Be careful out there. Urun is drawing near.
Urun?
You didn't hear? The storm. That's what people are calling it.
Oh. Must be a big one.
Biblical storm.
No Stina. Quite a mess. Could be caused by the storm. Or...
I doubt it.
Quite a mess. It's Stina's scarf. Ah! Stina! What the hell?
Sorry, kid. Can't let you stand in my way.
But why?
I knew it.
Damn it. Why'd she have to get so close?